All right, let's start. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is great to see all of you today. Thumbs up. I already got a thumbs up. We have a number of people joining us today. It is great. Good to see Nicholas again, Susan. We're going to start in about a minute. We're talking computer essentials for entrepreneurs. Yes. And this is going to be fun. This is going to be great. We're going to cover a lot of things in our couple of hours together. And I'm sure that there's going to be a couple more people coming in. So let's start with thumbs up, everybody. Thank you for being here. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Here we go. Admit, thank you very much. All right. Computer essentials for entrepreneurs. So let's do this. Once again, who are we? We are the SBDC, Small Business Development Center out of Blue Mountain Community College. My name is Dr. Arnaud Prévost, and I'm the program coordinator. We are advisors, business advisors, and we are in Umatilla, Wallowa, Baker County. Please give us a call. At 541-278-5833, 541-278-5833, and any step of the business development, any step, from business ideation all the way up to growth and selling your business, even at the end of that, you give us a call, 541-278-5833, and talk with one of our advisors. You can send us an email at sbdc@bluecc.edu, sbdc@bluecc.edu. All right, I'm itching to get started on this very, very tech-focused class, and we're talking computer essentials. Now, as always, just a couple of video conferencing norms and guidelines. It's always a good idea to mute yourself. Everybody's muting themselves, so that's great when you're not talking. Sometimes I get an echo in the back when somebody doesn't mute themselves. It's happened before. If you're using your phone, please make sure to mute yourself using your phone's button, all right? This session is intended to be interactive, and so make sure to ask questions. You can interrupt, you can type questions in the chat. I like questions in the chat because a number of our advisors are on the call and they can help answer some questions. I will check in with the chat regularly throughout our time together. Please feel free to give me a thumbs up with the reaction buttons, or you can even raise your hand. It's all good. So it's all there. Reaction buttons are on the bottom. And so there you go. Christy just gave me a thumbs up. There you go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So the plan for today, for this first hour, we're going to look at a number of tools, tech tools. All of them are free. Some of them have a subscription premium that you can add on to, and we'll talk about all that. And they're there. We're going to look at the essentials from the basics, from the very basics. And so, yes, from the very basics. So if you're not sure about your technology, don't worry, you're in the right spot. This is sort of computer essentials, so tech 101, so to speak. And we're going to take a look at a number of different things, including Hangouts, calendars, Drive, cloud storage, word processors, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, even Google Forms, to take a look at how to make surveys and whatnot. So there's a lot that we're going to do. Let me stop the sharing now and go straight to our very, very first part, and that is very basic, email. So let me go ahead and share with you Gmail. This is one of the most common email platforms in the world, Gmail through Google. A number of you might already have a Gmail account and might be familiar with all of this, but I just wanted to start by covering some points about email, about Gmail. Very simple, very straightforward. First things first, when you When you start and you wish to compose an email, you have the big blue compose email button right over here. Immediately, your window is going to open. And again, this might be very familiar for some of you. It's not going to be this, it's not going to be this simple because most of you, I think, already have this. You're going to go ahead and type in your email address, that's your recipient's email address, your subject, and then you're going to type in the body of your text. You can go ahead and add a couple of things, add some pictures in here. You can paste some pictures. It's easy. It's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to go ahead and email myself. I'm going to go ahead and email myself. And then right over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and start by typing the subject. So email for you, something like that. Very basic, very straightforward. We're starting with the easiest ones, pretty straightforward. And then here, this is the body of your text. Body of the text. Now, let's take a look at some of the options that we have on the bottom here. From here all the way up to here, because this can jazz up your email experience. And so let's begin. I don't have to send this email right now. I can actually schedule the email by doing a schedule send. Did you know that was there? And that is a really interesting tool that you can do. When you do schedule send, you can go ahead and do it tomorrow morning, this afternoon at 1 p.m., Monday morning. So for example, if you want to do some schedule sends during the weekend, or you can pick your date and time, and then that will be right there. There are, of course, you can't schedule send something in the past. It's always in the future. But again, I can pick a date, let's say the 11th at 10:05, and I'll click on schedule send, and it's done. And it's done. So that was our very first little option there for tech purposes. I can edit some things here. For example, I can go ahead and highlight, underline, make it bigger, bold, italic, underline, text color. I can have a alignment to the left and to the right. I can do that sort of thing if you're so inclined to do that. You have bullet points right over here, numbered lists, and so on and so forth. So it depends on how you want to draft that email. You can make it as fancy as possible right over here. Okay, great. You want to add an attachment? The easiest way to add an attachment is to drag and drop the attachment right over here in the body of your email. Another way that you can do this is by clicking on the next thing, which is the little paperclip right over here. This will allow you to add an attachment right over here and search for that attachment. I don't think you can see that window, but it's right there. Search for the attachment and then add it on. As soon as you've identified the attachment that you want to add, I'm going to go ahead and pick a PDF document. Just a random PDF document I have here. You're going to see that there on the bottom, it uploads and it's right there. Don't want it anymore? Don't worry about it. All you need to do is click on that little X right there and it will disappear. It's a very simple way to attach. So straightforward, easy peasy. Next to the attach button right over here, I have the hyperlink. I can insert a link here if I want. I can have the text to display, link, and then I will put in the web address, www.provo, that's my last name.com. I think that's a real website, but that's not me. But it gives you an idea of how to make a link right over here. Okay. Okay. Next, if I want to type in more in the body, again, I can add some pictures, emojis, and whatnot. For entrepreneurs, I would generally limit those. For the business mind, if you want to stay as professional as possible. But again, it all depends on your interaction strategy with your prospective customers. As always, I'm going to do a cat right there. I can do different things, different images and whatnot right here. I can now also insert some files using Google Drive, and that'll be our next page that we're going to look at, Google Drive. And that is very straightforward. It opens up my Google Drive right here, and I can attach anything. I don't have anything in this Google Drive, but it'll be right there. Right there. I can also insert a photo. Best way to insert a photo is just to go ahead and go ahead and paste it in. So I can copy and paste a photo inside the body of the email. But I can also click on this button right over here, insert photo. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy right over here. All right, great. I can go ahead and toggle confidential mode, which is a way that recipients won't have the option to forward, copy, print, or download this email. You can make it so that it's confidential for a week or something along those lines. Maybe it expires in 5 years or whatever. That is totally up to you how you want to do this right here. It will require a passcode or not, no SMS passcode or not, in order to make it confidential. It's totally up to you. This is, again, it all depends on how secure the information is that you're sending via Gmail. I've used this a couple times and it works really well. Last but not least, you can insert a signature by adding a signature in the body right over here. It opens up the message. I'm sorry, it opens up the settings tabs right over here, which allows you to insert a signature. If I'm not mistaken, it should be towards the bottom, right over here, towards the bottom of the general tab in signature. So right over here. What's an email signature? You can create a new one. You can give it a name. So signature number 1, let's say. And right over here, you can edit it and give it a signature, create new or whatnot, and it will sign in. You can go ahead and just call it whatever you want, really. So there you go. Next, as soon as you're done, obviously, make sure to go ahead and send the email. Let me go back to the inbox here, discard the changes. You can go make sure that you send the email. What's really nice about this new email that you're doing right over here is that you have the option to minimize it, and it minimizes it just like a window right over here. It's down on the bottom. To make it bigger again, go ahead and click on it to make it bigger again, just like that. And so if you're drafting multiple emails at the same time, for example, that could work. I've done in the past similar emails. So I've opened up 3 of them, for example, copy, paste, paste, paste. And then I changed some things in each of the emails that I was drafting. So there you go. So that's the fairly straightforward new email approach right over here. Everybody who's used email before, you're pretty familiar with that. Let's take a look at very quickly what we have here in the inbox. You can split your inbox according to different tabs. And again, in the settings, you're going to go ahead and have the option to change that in the settings as well. But again, we're looking at this from a cursory point perspective. It's just the essentials, getting the email down, so to speak, and there you go. If I've scheduled an email, and I have scheduled an email, if you remember, it's in this tab right over here. Here's my sent emails, starred emails, and so on. I can even go down here, manage some labels. Again, it all depends on how you want to organize this for your business, for your entrepreneurial work and whatnot. So yeah, very straightforward, very easy. Up here, you have the option to search any email, which is nice, very nice. So if I have any email that has the word, and I have the word body in it, it will come up with any email that has already had that word in it. So that's fairly straightforward. Okay, I did go really quick over signatures, but thank you, Christy, for adding that on. We have signatures should include the signature should include your name, as well as your contact information, and other possibilities include your company name, pronouns, website, URL, taglines, and even your logo. There's a lot that you can do. And again, click on the settings, and then you can get there. So there's a lot that you can do. Absolutely. You can keep your signatures as short as you want. You can keep your signatures as long as you want. Not comfortable putting in your logo? That's fine. You don't need to do that. It can be done if you want. It all depends on your strategy for communicating. And so there you go. Very, very, very thorough search bar right over here. Again, since it has the information right over here, it'll search any email that you sent through Google. So Google, Gmail, very common, very powerful, very strong, but it's also generally easy to use. Generally easy to use. Great. All right. So far, so good. Everybody, any other questions about emails? Please make sure to leave them in the chat. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if everybody's good. I want to make sure I got Christy thumbs up. You can push the reaction button in there. Sitlali, thank you very much. All right, and Jeff gives me a thumbs up. All right, so now I'm good. We're good to go. All right, now we're moving on to, let's go to the next tab, cloud storage. This is Google Drive. Now, what is cloud storage? It's the ability for you to store files that are important to you outside of your computer onto the cloud, onto servers that belong, in this case, to Google, and we'll take a look at the Microsoft's equivalent in just a bit. But again, we're doing Google first. And this is the drive. So think of it like a suitcase up in the sky, so to speak, that allows you to store all your files, and it's pretty awesome, any type of file you want so that you can access it away from your computer. One important thing, let me stop sharing here. If you are using your computer at work, you have a computer at home, and you've uploaded things to the cloud, you can go to your computer at home, open up the cloud, and access your work files from there. All you need to do is log in with your Google username and password. All right, so that's the idea behind cloud computing. Very straightforward. You're taking files that you're creating, sending them up to the server so that they're accessible behind a password and a username to you from any device around the world, so to speak. It makes it very, very nice so that you don't have to lug around your work computer by the, if you're doing some work at home for your work or something like that. You could just have a dedicated station at work, dedicated station at home, and then access each other's information like that. So Google Drive is the one that we're going to look at right now. Easy, straightforward. It has the same type of menus as most cloud computing websites. There are dozens of them, each offering different capacities. Google Drive offers 15 gigabytes of capacity, and you can always get more storage and pay for more. These 15 gigabytes, they fill up fast, especially if you put in movies, for example, that take up a lot of room in your on your drive. So all your files will appear right here, and we're going to upload a file together so that I can show you how this file actually appears. So, which is pretty nice, pretty straightforward, right over here. What you're going to do is you're going to start, and you're going to click on this new button right over here on the left. You all see it? It's over here on the top left. I'm going to go ahead and click on the new button, and I can upload a file. I can upload an entire folder. I can create a folder, or I can upload a Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, or Google Forms, or more. All the different Google functions that we're going to go ahead and see today. I'm going to click on File Upload, and a menu is going to open. Let's see. Let's upload a drawing that I have, and it's slowly uploading. You see it over here on the left, on the right, bottom right. It says Upload Complete. I can close this little window right here. And what happened? That file is now in my Google Drive, Easy peasy, fairly straightforward. And I can access it again from any computer around the world as long as I have my username and password, which is really nice. Really nice. It tells me when the last time it was modified. That was 3 years ago. Okay. And I can click on the file and open up that file. I'm not going to do that, but and so as soon as I highlight this, you'll notice that there are functions here on the right that allow me, do you see them? They're right here on the right. Let me go ahead and put an arrow here so that you can see them. That allow me to share this file with anybody. So I can go ahead and click on share right here, and it'll load up and allow me to share it with anybody with an email address right over here. So again, it's me. I can go ahead and share it with another account. Let's say my email address right over here. It's a lot of fun. Right there, here it is. I can add a message and so on. So I'm sharing it with myself, easy peasy, but also general access. I can change this. This is restricted to whoever I share it with, or I can make it so that it's anybody who has the link right here. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. There's a lot that that can be done here. And again, anybody with the link can view, or anybody with the link can comment or edit. As soon as I have this, I can copy the link, and then I'll paste the link wherever I need it in order to give access to the person in question right there. Does that make sense? So that's our first function right there. Our second function is over here on the right-hand side, where I have the ability to re-download this file. In this case, I'm downloading it. It's up in the cloud, and I'm downloading it from the cloud back to my computer desktop, okay, or my downloads folder right over here. I can rename this file right over here. I can give it a star so that I can identify it as important, okay, and so on. All right, okay. So before we move on, I would like you all, so Gmail was fairly straightforward, but this one, I'm going to put this in the chat. I would like you all to go to this website, drive.google.com. You might be already familiar, so if you're familiar, just all good, relax, it's a review. If you're not familiar, go ahead and go to this site. I don't know why I didn't hyperlink it, but that's okay. Go to drive.google.com and go ahead and take a minute to upload a file on your Google Drive. We'll take it just a minute. I'll stop talking here and take a sip of water. Yeah, and so go give it a try. Give it a try. Again, new file upload or just drag it in. Take a minute. I want everybody to practice this. Just taking a minute here. If you have any questions, please let me know in the chat. Or since there's so few of us, you can unmute and talk. Make sure to remute after we're done talking. All right. Good. Give me a thumbs up when everybody's ready. All right. Thank you, Jeff. Sitlali, thank you. Dawn, great. Great, great, great. Okay. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. And no questions in the chat. So I think we can move ahead with all of this. We have some options to talk about on the left-hand side, right over here. Here, you have the ability to see the different computers syncing with your Google Drive. So what does it mean by that? What does it mean? Thank you, Nicholas, with a thumbs up. What does it mean by that? Well, again, if you're logged in to Google Drive on your home computer, and at the same time, if you're logged in at your work computer, if you're logged in using your cell phone, right over here, your mobile device, your iPad, you're going to have a number of different logins. You'll be able to see that here. If there are any other computers syncing with Drive, using Drive for desktop, and so on. Shared with me if anybody has shared any files or folders. Remember the sharing, where you click on that share button, and then you go ahead and add the email address. You can share files. If anybody's sharing files with you, it'll appear right over here. So this is important. It's interesting. It shows you that this is not necessarily your drive, but it is a file that is shared with you. Any recents here? This shows you the most recent ones right over here. If you don't want to spend your time searching for your file. Did you star some of them? Yes, we did for important files right over here. I starred some of them. Any spam, any spam, for example, if you get a Google file, Google Drive file, Google Docs file, or a file that is not, they sent and it's a spam, it'll appear here. Any trash is right here. And then, of course, storage allows you to go ahead and see how much you have here. I have on this account mostly photos that are in Google Photos, and then 123 kilobytes, very simple, of Google Docs, so easy peasy. I can clean up my space, delete some photos, anything that I have here that I don't need, or I can buy more storage. So yeah, there you go. So far, so good. Let's move on to our next one, which is Hangouts. Now, Hangouts has sort of been split now into Google Chat and Google Meets, Google Chat and Google Meets. So it used to be one program called Google Hangouts, but now here is the chat right over here. So if you're unfamiliar with this, I'm going to put this in our Zoom chat right over here. Pretty straightforward. I'm on the onboarding phase, so you should be seeing what I'm seeing. If you want to follow along, I'll give you a minute or two to really play with this. Yeah. So this is essentially a instant messaging system and program. And it'll connect through Gmail as well, which is real nice. Okay. So what you essentially do, very simple, very straightforward. You go ahead and you click on Start Chat. Start a chat right over here. It's nice. It's really, really nice. It's pretty awesome. And so you have the ability to create a space, browse spaces, or invite one or more people. So I'm going to invite myself to show, oops, not this one. I'm going to add myself right over here in the chat right over here. Okay, so that's fairly straightforward. I can start what's called a space, which is nice. So I'll call it space demo. Oops, demo. I'll call this space demo right here. And I can create a space, which is really nice. It allows me to go ahead and start the chat right over here. History is on, and I can say, hello. And everybody can be here. So this is a nice way for you to have virtual meetings. If people are in busy places and it's better for them to chat, you can go ahead and do that as well. Google Chats, it's connected to Gmail, which is why I want everybody to look at the top left here. The email address, the URL is mail.google.com. Like, I thought that was Gmail. It is Gmail, but it's mail.google.com/chat. Notice that it's /chat right here. Okay, so this is where you'll go to go ahead and have those chats. This was the function on Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts has been, again, split into two programs. We'll take a look at the second one in just a second. All right, so far so good, everybody. So if I give you the link, I mean, I can share this link with you. I can share this link with you right over here, okay, in the chat right over here, and you all should be able to come into the chat right here in the space. You don't necessarily have to right now, but that's the idea. You can share that link, and then other people can come in and chat and whatnot. So yeah, it's a simple chat program. It's an older technology, but it works a lot, especially if you have virtual teams or what have you, and it's free. All this is free, which is really nice. Let's connect back to Gmail, and let me show you back to Gmail. So I've gone to the other tab right over here. I'm going to go down here in the chats. You see where I am here in the chat section right over here? And I'm going to click on it, and it should, oh, it didn't do it, but it should show up here if you're chatting with somebody else in your Gmail chat. So it's fairly straightforward. Let's go back to the demo here. You can share a file, add more people, or you can assign a specific task. Again, think of it as a meeting space for you and your crew. So yeah, that's great. That's great. All right. Any questions for this? Make sure to leave them in the chat. And if not, or not in this chat, in the Zoom chat. If not, I think we can move on to our next section, which is the second part of what Google Hangouts used to be, and that is Google Meets. Google Meets, which is really nice. Google Meets is the competitor of Zoom, essentially. Think of, sorry, I took a sip of water there. Think of Google, video conferencing and that sort of thing, and that's going to be great. That's going to be great. So what do? Well, you start off by going to meets.google.com, right over here. Let me put this one in the chat for all of you. Meets.google.com, right over here. Yeah, absolutely. And then you have a choice. Either you are the host of a meeting, whereby you'll click Start Meeting, or you were given a code or a link to the meeting that you're going to be asked to join, and you put that right there. It's very straightforward, very easy. Let's take a look at how it works. Hopefully my computer will be able to handle this because I'm already running the video conference on Zoom. But if I go new meeting, I can create a meeting for later. I can start an instant meeting, or I can schedule it on Google Calendars. And we'll take a look at Google Calendars also today, which is real cool. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start an instant meeting, and we'll see if my computer video card can get both videos here, both myself and not, but it does work. It does work right over here. It does work right over here. If I weren't on Zoom, you'd be able to see me right here. No, actually, you can see me here. You can work on both. So that's really nice. So you would go ahead and just share that and then meet right here. It's really nice. It's very straightforward. Sitlali had a great question. Can you access Google Meets or the chat feature from your Google Drive? Yes, Christy says double Prevost. That's right. You see me here and you send me this. So Sitlali and anybody else who has this question, Google Drive is just for your files, just for your files. So again, Google Drive for your files. Google Meets and Google Chat is for communication. So they're different functions. They're two different tools, different functions right there. So I'm going to end the call right over here. I can return to the home screen right over here. And there you go. I'm back here for Google Meets. What I'd like for you to do right now in the chat, I have the links to Google Meets and I have the link to Google Chat. I want you to take a minute, everybody, and go ahead and explore. Click on it, open it up, and see how it works. See how it works. Just give it a try. Give it a minute, and then we'll get back to our next one. I'm replying to a question from the chat, and so that's why you hear me typing. Just take about 30 seconds just to explore on your own. We want to be interactive here, just to explore on your own and see how it works. Okay. There you go. All right. Great. Okay. All right. Everybody good? Give me a thumbs up if everybody's good. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. So thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Christy. Great, great, great. Well, thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, Nicholas. All right. So we've had a chance to take a look at a couple of these. Now we're going to take a look at the main three. The main three. This is Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. These three right there are your bread and butter for the Google products. They were the first ones that were developed. And so let's get to it. This is, everybody, Google Docs. Google Docs is a word processing program, much like Microsoft Word, that allows you to type in letters, type in documents, insert photos in the documents, and whatnot. When you first go to docs.google.com, you're taken to this window. It will show you a couple of things. On the bottom here, everybody see this on the bottom? This is where all your documents will be, all your text documents right there. In order to start a new one, you're going to want to start a blank one right here. But you want to start with a template. There are multiple templates here and many, many more that you can search and even buy. If you want to do a template for a resume, for example, a letter or a brochure or anything like that. I'm going to start with Google Docs and do a blank document right over here. And if you've ever typed a letter, it will be very familiar to you. You'll type the body of your letter right here. You can paste in, again, links. You can paste in photos. You can put in tables and whatnot. It has the similar pattern. It has a similar pattern to what you're probably familiar with text editing. You can undo here. You can print. You can spell check. You can change the zoom. You can have different size text, change the font, change the size here again, bold, italic, underline. This is your opportunity to insert a link. Although if you paste in a link, it will automatically paste it with a URL. This is alignment right over here, checkboxes, bullet points, numbered list, indentation, and whatnot. So it's all up here for you. It really does what Microsoft Word does, I would say, to about 90%. Microsoft Word has other functions, and we'll talk about that in just a bit when we take a look at Office 365. All right, cool. You have some menus that you can use right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the menus. I can open it. I can make a copy. If I have a letter that's been shared with me, I can make a copy of it by clicking here on Make a Copy. I can share it. I can download it in any format. If I want to download it as a PDF, I'll download it as a PDF right over here. I can print it again from here. Easy, fairly straightforward. Any copying and pasting right over here. Any views, generally not used all that much. If I want to insert a table, if I want to insert an image, again, this is fun. I can actually insert an image by uploading from my computer or searching on the web. A window will open on the right-hand side, which will search Google Images. Make sure that what you're searching and inputting, especially for your business, does not violate copyright. And make sure that it doesn't. But if it's for educational purposes only, cats, let's say, I'm going to go ahead and take a photo. This is from Google Images right here. I'm double-clicked, and then I get a picture that I can insert here instantly. I'm going to delete that because, again, I'm going to do this. This is for entrepreneurs. I'm going to do this for my business. I want to make sure that I use copyright-free public domain photos or photos to which I have the right to use. So that's important too. All right. I can insert a table. Again, this table can be of different sizes. You can change the table accordingly right over here. How does that look? Well, let's say I have a 4x2 table. It'll look just like that. All right, right over here. I can insert a drawing, a chart, anything like this. Page breaks if you're writing bigger things, and so on. Again, I can format it. It's same functions as we have on the bar right over here. I can go ahead and use some tools, word count, citations, and things like that. I can translate this document using Google Translate and whatnot. Okay, so far so good. Now, as with every Google Doc, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Forms document, you have this button right here, which is the share button. This allows you, again, to share it with anybody. Who do you want to share it with? Again, you got to give it a title. Document right over here. Who am I going to share it with? And what is going to be the access? Again, I can share it with anybody, anyone with the link right over here. And then I can copy this link right here and then I can share it with anyone. I'm going to actually put it in the chat just to show you what it looks like. And feel free to go ahead and click on this link right now. You can do that right now. And you can have access and you can start typing. We can share this document together and whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty fun. You can do that. You can do that if you would like. Absolutely. Right here. So far, so good, everybody. So that is our Google Docs. How do I get back to the main menu for Google Docs? All I need to do is click on this button right over here, and it'll get me back to the main menu. I have a document called, well, document. I'm not very creative. And so that document called document is now appearing right here in my recents down here. So far, so good? Okay, great. Now, let's keep going. All right, let's go ahead and go to Google Slides. I'm sorry, not Google Sheets. The web address for Google Sheets is this one. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat right over here. Yes, very good. So it is still a Google Docs technically, but it's slash spreadsheets. As you see, this one is Google Docs slash document. What is a spreadsheet? Spreadsheet, you'll know it when you see it. It looks just like this. It has different cells that you can go ahead and put in information. This is what you'll use, for example, to make your balance sheets, income statement, statement of cash flows, and whatnot. Also, you have the ability to do calculations in your spreadsheet, which is very nice, very nice. Yeah. So, for example, I'm going to make a simple table here. How did I get here? Just letting you know that I went ahead and clicked on blank, much like Google Docs, very straightforward. I don't have any spreadsheets here, so I'm going to make my own. All right. Again, there are options for multiple templates that I can go ahead and choose here. Very, very easy, very straightforward. Don't reinvent the wheel if you need to. Okay. Right over here. I'm just going to take a blank document and make my own while we're demonstrating Google Docs. So that's easy. All right, so I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it, I'm not very creative here, so I'm just going to call it Spreadsheet 1. I'm going to call it Spreadsheet 1, and I'm going to call it number of students, let's say, in this cell, and I'm going to say GPA. As a teacher myself, this is a common one that I would do, but I can go ahead and alter the width and the height of these cells, and then I can make a table out of it by selecting the cells that I want the table to be, and then going ahead and selecting this button right over here. I can make a table. Let's say that I want all borders right here. Okay, number of students, 4.0. 3.7. I'm typing in the numbers. Okay, 3.3. Just very, very straightforward. 3.0, 2.7, 2.3, 2, 1.7, and so on. I can make that table again. I can add the different numbers of students. Oops. Let's say 6. And one student did that. So again, that allows me then I can now print this by clicking on this icon right over here, and I can have a sheet, easy peasy, done and easy. Now I can also select this. Oops, select this, copy this, Control C, copy this. You'll have the little ant trail right over here that goes around it. I've copied these cells, and I can paste it in a Google Doc. I'm going to go back to my Google document right over here, and I can paste it, easy peasy. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. But again, it's an option that I can do. Okay, so again, going back to the Google Docs, that's how you interact sort of between spreadsheets and Google Docs. You can do it that way. All right. What's nice about this is that I have a couple of options that I can use. I went too far here and I used too many of these sheets here. So I can go back here and just do blank right over here. go back and do the table again one more time. Do the table so that it looks nice and easy and straightforward. Right over here. This is a couple of options. Here are a couple of options that you can use. So again, here's the size. This is if you want to change your numbers to dollars. So you're going to highlight the cells that you want to do this to, for example, and click on dollars. And as you can see, it changed it into currency. We don't necessarily have to have that because it's GPA in this case, but there you go. You want to change it to percentages. It's right there. You want to add a couple zeros, take away zeros. Here's the default font right over here. The size, okay. Bold, italic, underline, strike through, color fill, color of the ink, right over here. Here is again the table right here. This is the alignment that we have here, and then a couple more advanced functions that are here. We're just focusing on the essentials for today, right over here. Yeah, which is real nice, really, really nice. Also, I have the menus that are up here on the top. But before I do that, let me go ahead and tell you how we refer to cells. Do you see the cell that I just selected? That's referred to as G6. Does everybody see why? Because the column goes up to G and the row goes back to 6. If you've ever played Battleship, right, that game Battleship, you're pretty familiar with this this whole focus, this whole idea. So how we refer to cells, all right? Also, which is really nice, you have something called functions. These functions appear here on this long strip right over here. So it'll start here and it'll go right there. So what are functions? Functions allow you to take the information that is in individual cells. You see them, 1.7, 1.2, and so on, and then tell another cell to do some sort of mathematical function. So if I want a weighted score for my class, for example, or I want to know the average number of students in my class or the total number of students, I can type in a function, which is really nice. So I'm going to teach you a couple of them that are useful for businesses, entrepreneurs, okay? If I want to add up all these numbers, I can pull out my calculator and start adding them up. I don't have to. I can, because Google Sheets is a calculator in and of itself, which is really cool, all right? I'm going to start by recalling a function, and I do that by pushing the equal sign. As soon as I do this, you'll notice that the function will be typed up here as well as here. And it's recommending that I do sum, open parentheses, C5 colon C12. It's pretty smart because that's exactly what I was going to type, okay? So it uses AI in order to go ahead and determine and guess what you're going to go ahead and type. So that's pretty cool, okay? So what does it mean? Well, let's take a look at the function here. Sum. I want to add up all my students. So that's going to be called sum. Next, I'm opening my parentheses, and I'm designating the sum from C5, which is right here, all the way to C12, which is right here. I will do that by doing C5 or selecting the cell, and then colon C12. So far, so good? That's how you add a function on Google Sheets and how you add a function on Excel. So that's really, really easy. So let me type it and show you exactly what it looks like. Boom, right over here. On C14, I just have the sum of all my students. I have 34 students right over here. It did that, again, by having the function, and here is the function again. Yes, it may show 34, that's the answer, but under the hood, it is this function right over here. Sum, or equals sum, open parentheses, C5 colon C12. So that's I think that's kind of useful because you can do all sorts of other things. You can explore the functions, okay, by looking at the catalog of functions, all right? But I'm going to teach you a couple of them. So first one, again, is equal sum, open parentheses, and then a cell, oops, a cell, colon, another cell, and then this, okay? That's the first one that I'm going to teach you right here. So sum. So go ahead and write that down, or we're recording it. So if you want to listen to it later or whatever the best way you learn is. All right, right over here. Next is another one that's really useful, and that is average. 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 Open parentheses, cell, colon, cell, close it. That'll give you the average of the numbers. Not that that would be particularly useful in my example, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to click on equal average, average, and here is your catalog of functions right here. All right, average A, average, and there's a description of that. Some of them are very mathematically based. You don't need all of them. We're just looking at a few. We're just looking at a few, and that's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and do C3 to C5 to C12. Again, I can select it, C5 to C12. As I'm selecting, it's going, and there you go. Gives me an average of 4.5 students in each bracket, okay? Which is really, really nice. Really, really nice, okay? Right here. Okay, very good, very good. Oh, this is great. This is great. Okay, now where do I find the catalog that I'm mentioning here? It is right here at the end. So these are all your formulas right here. The most common ones are sum and average, easy. Count, if you want to count the number of cells that you have, right? Maximum, minimum. All right, those are the 5 most common ones that you'll use. Here are the rest. So for financials, if you want to go ahead and explore these, you have a small description of what they all are at the bottom of the name right over here. Okay, and so some of these are used for statistics and whatnot. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Let me do one more for count. Okay, count. I'm going to do count. So I'm going to do again. How do I start? Equal count, open parenthesis, and then it's going to ask for 2 values. I'm going to go ahead and just do these 2 values again in my table. And now I have 8 different categories. I've counted the number of cells that I have here. So it's pretty nice. Okay. All right. Now that we've done the formulas, let's go ahead and explore some of the functions that we have up here at the top, right over here in between these 2 arrows right here. So again, this should be fairly familiar to you. I can make a copy. If I'm giving a copy, I can make a copy, easy peasy. I can share it. I can download it as a PDF, as an Excel file, and so on and so forth. I can rename it. We haven't talked about version history yet, which I'll talk about in just a bit. And I can print it, easy peasy. There you go. Here is the edit function right over here. Nice and straightforward. Undo, copy paste special. I can view it differently. Now let's talk about insert. This is where I can insert all sorts of things. I can insert another cell, insert cell and shift from the right. I can insert an additional row. I can insert an additional column. I can insert an additional sheet. All right, these sheets are available through tabs down here on the bottom. You can rename the sheet. So for example, if you're doing your financial information fiscal year 1, you can write FY1, and then you can open up another tab with another sheet right there as a different menu. It'll have fiscal year 2, fiscal year 3, and so on. So it all depends on what you're looking to do, and it's right there. Okay, next, are you ready? Next, where are we? Here we go. I can insert an image again. I can insert an image from, insert an image in the cell or over the cells. I can go ahead and insert a function. We've seen these before, okay, right over here, and so on. Next, let's talk about format. All right, if I want to change these numbers right here to make them formatted differently as a different number, maybe percent, scientific, accounting, financial currency, or whatever, there it is. If I want to change this to bold, italic, underline, different alignments. If I want to do some wrapping, which wraps the text around the next cell so that it doesn't hide into the other cell, I can do that. Just go ahead and play with it a little bit, okay? Right over here. That's the best way to learn, really, Okay, font size and what have you right over here. Data, this is more advanced. I can sort this by sheet, sort the sheet by column E, A through Z. So if I want to sort things alphabetically, I can do that too. So it'll be fairly straightforward, fairly easy. Next, let me go back to insert here and talk about chart, because I've had this question many, many times asked in my classrooms. How do I make a chart? And especially if you're writing your business plan or something like that, you're going to need to go ahead and know how to make those powerful charts. Well, first you need the data, and we have the data. The data is right here on our sheet, right over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select my sheet, number of students, and GPA right here. Then I'm going to go to Insert Chart right here. Give it a second. And now it's automatically inserted a histogram, which is a type of chart, right here with the chart editor here on the right. It guessed that this is what I'm looking for. And it turns out that it was. All right. It's very smart. I can change the type of a chart by changing it right here, chart type. Okay, that might be better and more visual for me to see. It all depends on how you want to do this and whatnot. I wouldn't use fancy charts. I would use suggested charts. Every chart has a purpose. Every chart has a purpose. Know that purpose. When I'm illustrating the number of students and their GPAs, boom, that's easy, fairly straightforward. I'm going to use a histogram or a column type of chart, and it'll be easy for me to do that. I can change it, though, to line charts and so on. I can add an x-axis right over here, okay? I can add a y-axis, if you remember from your math all those years ago, x and y-axis right over here. So that's how you set up your chart. You can customize it by adding a legend, changing the grid lines. It's totally up to you how you want to do that. My recommendation, keep it pithy, keep it simple, keep it straightforward. This tells me all the information that I need to know, and so I will use this chart. This chart can be selected and changed and moved around right here. I can also push the delete button, delete the chart that I have here, boom, and it goes away. All right, so far so good, everybody? So yeah, spreadsheets is a little bit more. There's a little bit more to look at, and I want everybody to know how to use the spreadsheets. So we covered that. Give me a thumbs up if everybody's good. Go ahead. I have Christy with a thumbs up. Right there, Jeff, Don, thank you very much. So this should be somewhat familiar to some of you when it comes to the documents, because people have done spreadsheets before. If it's not, like I said, we went through this basic view of documents and spreadsheets. So there you go. All right. Let's move on, and then I'll have you play with docs, sheets, and slides in just a second, but let's move on to Google Slides. Is this looking familiar? Yes, it is. Again, templates, Google Slide presentations that are right there, okay, and Google Slide presentations that are right there. Let's start with a blank one. We can start with a series of templates. Totally up to you, however you want to do this. But yeah, here you go. So I'm going to start with a blank one. Google Slides for Entrepreneurs is going to be for trainings, presentations. What are we talking about? Pitches to the local bank and so on and so forth. If they want to go ahead and have you explain your business a little bit more, you can add your logo. Click here to add title. So I'll just click sample right over here. I can insert, again, an image, again, that I can upload or that I can simply drag and drop. And there you go. The idea is that you make slide presentations by adding more slides. The button is right here, adding the more slides. And there we go. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a 3-slide presentation, okay, by adding a subtitle right here. And then I can add some more things. I can do bullet points. I can add titles right here. So our business, who we are, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so it's fairly straightforward. Give it a title. I call it sample. They figured it out. Very good. I can go ahead and click on this little menu right here and add different types of looking slides. I can even add a slide that has a big number in it. So if you want, you know, expected expected revenue increase over fiscal year 2024, you know, you can do something like this, 500%, you know, or something like that. And so it'll look like this as it's presenting right there. If some of you are familiar with PowerPoint, this is very similar. Okay, very similar. Yeah, here you go. So this is a simple one with 4 slides. Okay, I can go ahead and again change this. I can print these out. I can make sure they fit. I can go ahead and add a text box. If I selected a text box, for example, right here, and I deleted it, whoops, I deleted it, and all I have is this text box here. I can add a text box right here, anywhere where I can go ahead and feel free to type whatever I want to type on the slide presentation right here. I can go on to the next one by adding an image right here. I can add a shape. Okay, these shapes are pretty substantial. All right, so again, make sure that the shapes correspond with what you're looking to communicate. That's very important. All right, if you're looking to communicate something that's more subdued, you might not want the lightning bolt or something like that. If you're looking to communicate something, use these sparingly, not too much, but it's there, however you want to design your slide presentation. Here are the lines, arrows. You can make arrows here. These arrows are really cool because, again, I can change this. I can format this. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller, a size and rotation. Again, this arrow has a width of 3.4. I can make it bigger, thickness and whatnot. I can change the angle of this or what have you. It's fairly nice. It's real nice. The height. Okay, so again, it's totally up to you, however you want to do this. Okay, so I just added an arrow. So yeah, so it's really easy, really straightforward. My recommendation for Google Slides is that you keep it simple. That's the big recommendation, that you keep it simple. Use it to communicate the information you want to communicate. Has anybody heard of death by PowerPoint? You don't want to do that. You know, you want to keep it engaging and whatnot. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 words or 7 words per slide. Maybe 3 bullet points. Again, you don't want to do too much. Okay, it all depends on what you're looking to communicate. But again, we want to make sure that that's done correctly and that you do it right. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and go back to our Google Slides right here and take a look at a couple of the options at the top there. Let's see, do you see where I am? Right over here. These are real nice. And then we'll take a look at design in just a second. Okay, so these are real cool. So let's do this. So file, again, very familiar. You can make a copy of it. You can share it, download, all of that. Very similar to what we saw in Google Sheets. Again, this is also very similar, copy, paste, cut, and whatnot. This is the view, so you can view this as a slideshow. You can view this, you can view any motions that you've added there. Again, make sure that your animations are sparingly, use it sparingly, okay? Theme builder, we'll talk about that in just a bit. All right, you can insert, again, any images that you can search from your Google Drive, Google Photos by URL, or using your camera. I mean, really, you can very easily use your camera if you want to put yourself in here, take a photo right there. I'm going to go ahead and click on insert, and there I am. So there you go. So that's something that you can do as well for any images, any Google Docs programs right there. Text box, audio, video, totally up to you how you want to do this. Any shapes there, you find them here again. You can insert some tables. some charts. Again, I would say run your Google Slides or PowerPoint presentation by a friend to ask them if you are able to communicate what you really wanted to communicate. So there you go. So that's important. Any diagrams right there, relationship cycles. This is actually kind of fun. If you want a hierarchical diagram right here, it'll appear here on the left. If you want to talk about who's in charge of your business, for example, you can do that. I'm going to erase a couple of these arrows so that you can see clearly what this is. You can type in these boxes, you know, the boss, you know, is at the top or what have you, you know, fairly straightforward, fairly easy. All right. So far, so good, everybody. All right. So there we go. Again, how do we get back? How do we get back to where we need to be? Well, I'm going to go ahead and click on this little icon right there, Google Slides Home, right over here. And it will give me right here in the recents my sample. There it is, sample right here. Notice that these thumbnails are snapshots. So this took a snapshot before I deleted the photo. That's why it still has my photo right over here. All right, cool. That's great. It's 10:04, so if y'all want to take a break, we're going to take a couple minutes break, get some coffee, what have you. It's all good. I'll start in a couple minutes. During this time, I'd like you to explore Google Docs. I'm going to go back to this, Google Sheets. I'm going to go back to this and Google Slides. Go ahead and give it a go. Go ahead and give it a go. So we're going to take a couple minutes, all right? I'm here to answer any questions, really. So explore Docs, Sheets, and Slides. Docs.google.com, Sheets.google.com, Slides.google.com. All right, just take a look and explore. Any questions, feel free to interrupt during this little break time. Just a minute left. No questions? I've answered everything, haven't I? Yes, this is what a teacher wants to see. No questions. All right. So here we go. Jeff, Nicholas, Eric, Susan, Christy, Don, Sitlali. Let's go ahead and move on. We're now going to go to Google Calendars. Now, Google Calendars is very simply a calendar program. And it allows you to organize your time, commitments, all that stuff in a spreadsheet looking calendar. If you've ever used Google Calendars before, this is going to be a review. But again, here we are. This is Google Calendars. Let me put it in the chat for you. All right. Let me put this in the chat. Okay. Right here, Google Calendars. Okay, very nice, very nice. And so let's say you have an appointment next week. You're going to go ahead and click on today and then change the week by going here. Let's say it's October 2nd at 8 a.m. You're going to simply click here. It'll open up a window for you to put in an appointment with the dentist. Oh, no. An appointment with the dentist, let's say, and then you're going to click on save. You can define how long this is by going from 8 a.m. to whatever time. You can add a Google Meets video conferencing if that's what you're looking for. You can add select here for more colors right over here. You can go ahead and do that. You can add a notification, maybe 10 minutes before or something like that, however you want to do this. And then you click on save right here. And now when you click on it, it automatically identifies, gives you this lovely little picture right here. When you put in the word dentist, it identified that it was the dentist. So it tells you exactly who, where you're going, what you're doing, and whatnot. What's really nice is that you get a little message reminder, bing, if you keep your Google Calendar open, and you'll hear it, and it'll give you a reminder. What's nice also is that you can move the appointment just by dragging. Oh no, it's been changed to 10 o'clock. Those dentists. It's been changed to 10 o'clock. There you go. So I have them right here, easy peasy, ready to go. Ready to go right here. I can also select multiple days. By changing the time right here and clicking on all day from, let's say, Monday through Thursday. And in this case, right here, so let's say I have a trip to Tahiti or something like that, right here. This trip to Tahiti will take a couple of days. And again, it'll cover all these days and it'll be up at the very top right over here. So easy peasy, fairly straightforward. You can view this by week over here at the top right, by month, by year, by date, and so on. So it's a very easy, very straightforward calendar program right here. I'm going to go by week so that I can see the whole week and so on. Nice. If you connect your phone with Google Calendars, you can get announcements on your phone, notifications on your phone, letting you know what it's about, so you can do stuff on your computer and get notifications on your phone. So yeah, this one's really easy. This one's really straightforward, really easy. Does anybody have any questions about this? No? Okay, great, great. So again, really easy, really straightforward. Before we move on, I'd like to go ahead and review with you all the share function. The share function. I'm going back to Google Slides. You don't have to, just watch. And I'm going to click on the share button. The share button. Okay, right over here, as soon as it loads. Right over here, the share button. Okay, how do I share it with somebody else? Click on the share button. So far, so good. You got it? Thumbs up, thumbs up. And then I have to change the access. Is it restricted? Is it anybody with the link? If it's anybody with the link, I can easily copy this link. So go ahead, and I'm going to put this in the chat. One of you go ahead and click on this link so that I can have you see this. All right, one of you go ahead and click on this link right here. Okay, so this is my presentation, so you can share the presentation right here. You can all do it. Okay, right over here, I'm going to click on done. Okay, and now it's shared. Did you see? Thank you. One of you just clicked right here. A little circle popped up with an animal. This case, it's a dragon. Okay, this means that someone who's not logged in is viewing my slide presentation at the given moment. Oh, that person just left. Okay, so this is one way that you can do this. Okay, when you share, you can see it right up here, all the people who are sharing. So if you're ever in a meeting with Zoom, you're sharing a PowerPoint or a Google slide presentation, you can see who's on it and who has actually gone ahead and shared. There it is, somebody else here, Anonymous Panda. I don't know who that is. It's one of you. Okay, but there you go. Okay, very good. So that's a review that I really believed was important. Okay, so now we're going to go to Google Forms. Google Forms is our next one. Looks very similar. Okay, Google Forms gives you the ability to make surveys. Now, the alternatives to this include SurveyMonkey, that sort of thing, and you can make contact information surveys. You can make RSVPs, you can make party invites, and all of these templates, or you can start fresh right over here. I'm going to click on blank, and it creates a form. This form allows you to make it, send it to prospective clients, have them fill it out, and you gather the data. It is really, really useful. Okay, so far so good. All right, so Google Forms. So let's do this. Let's call it a survey. Let's make one. Survey. Okay, question. How amazing is Dr. Prevost? And then it automatically, or as it says, magically populates from 1 to 5. You can change this by having a short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, checkbox, drop down, file upload, linear scale, or what have you. Okay, so again, you can add labels. Not very amazing. Again, I'm just having fun here with my name here. Not very amazing or super. Okay, and then you can define this question by as being required or not. So the first question can be your name, your email address, right, and so on and so forth. Build your surveys according to your needs. Okay, for entrepreneurs, this is very useful. Very, very, very useful, because this can allow you to gather data. Okay, very simply, again, I can require this, it'll be required, and so on and so forth. All right, next, I can go ahead and copy this question right over here, duplicate this question, okay, right here. Did you notice the little asterisk right here? That shows that this is a required question, and immediately I have the question generated right over here the way it'll look. Okay, so that's easy. That's pretty straightforward. How amazing is Dr. Prevost's class today? All right, you can do it like that. Another linear scale. I'm going to go ahead and do okay. Very good. It was me. Thank you. There you go. So I'm going to do it required. Very good. And so now I'm done with my survey. I'm going to make it real quick. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I click on send. Now watch this, because this is important. A lot of people forget this part. Okay. As soon as I click on send, I've got to make sure that I send this to people. I send this to people. Now I can send it via email. All right. Include the form in the email. Easy peasy. All right. I can send it that way. I can send it via a link with a link. Okay. So I can make sure that I copy this link right over here. And then I'm going to paste the link. I'll show you all what it looks like. I can shorten this URL if it's too long, or I can embed this HTML link in a website, for example. If you have a website, it'll give you the option to embed HTML or include code. This is where you include the code. So we're not going to go too deep into this. The one that you'll probably use the most is Google Forms right over here, this link, this middle link right over here. We'll do a shortened URL right over here. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new tab and paste this just to show you what it looks like. And my survey is done and complete. It looks right here. It is right here. I'm already logged in, so here I am right over here. It'll ask you to log in because you're collecting email addresses, and then go ahead and do this. I'm going to say that Dr. Prevost is amazing. This class is 4 out of 5, and then I'm going to click on submit. As soon as I click on submit, you can go ahead and change this answer right here, saying thank you. It can be updated for your business, easy peasy, right here. You can submit another response or what have you. It is all there. How do I change these functions? Well, I'm going to go over here, okay? And I'm going to go over here to, where am I? Oh, there it is. Right there. I'm going to go over here and I can change this function to only verified or do not collect emails. Okay, very easy. I can go ahead and change the height and width of these embedded files. It's pretty straightforward, fairly easy to do. I'm going to go over here. I can make a copy of this survey. I can move it to the trash. I can get a pre-filled link. I can add a collaborator. Are you not the only one working on this survey? Maybe there are 2 or 3 of you, right? You can add collaborators. These are not people who take the survey. These are people who collaborate with you in making the survey. Let me go to settings here. I can change the form defaults right here, okay? I can change the question defaults right here, okay? I can change the responses, all right? Change how, you can limit to 1 response or something like that, fairly easy. I can change how the responses are presented. Please feel free to take a look at this. This is very important. Just really nice, really straightforward. All right, now let's take a look at the response tab right over here. So I have the questions tab, the settings tab. Again, I can play around with this. Okay. And the response tab, I've already done 1 response. This gives me an answer right here. This gives me a graph, all right, a summary graph of who answered what. So this is really, really neat. What's really cool, and this is where this is so powerful, is that I can link this to Sheets, Google Sheets. By clicking this link right here, I can create a new tab called Untitled Responses or Untitled Form Responses, and it'll open up a Google Sheets. Do you see it? And it'll have the answer and it'll have the score that was given. That is very useful. Everything like SurveyMonkey has analytics. This one is really nice if you're familiar with Google Sheets, okay? And so on and so forth. And again, it doesn't have to be numbers. It can be short paragraph descriptions. You can get your favorite customers to go ahead and fill out a form. Might take some time in establishing it, but in making it and building it, but it is worth it. It is very, very worth it. Any questions about forms? Again, I'll call it survey. I'll go back to this collection right here. And again, it looks like that. So again, to summarize, forms, very easy. You make a form. You go ahead and click on it. You can add questions. You can change the type of questions that you've got right over here by with linear scale, checkboxes, downloads, that sort of thing right over here. You can change the style of your text by having a header, questions, text, and whatnot. It all is how you want to build it. Make sure that you have the right settings and colors that matches your business right here. Maybe you want a header for your business, maybe with your logo or something like that. Okay, make sure that it matches the color palette of your business and so on. We want to keep everything on brand, and that's the idea. Google Forms, great opportunity to survey your customers' perspective and otherwise, and current customers. And there you go. And keep everything on a Google Sheet, which is nice. If I go back to Google Sheets right here, I will have not only the spreadsheet I started, but over here, untitled form with responses. Easy peasy. All right. So far, so good, everybody? Thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Christy. All right. Thank you, Sitlali. All right, great job, Susan, Don, Nicholas, you got it. Okay, any questions, please feel free in the chat, and again, there you go. So that's nice, that's really nice. Before we leave Google, let me go ahead and talk to you about this. I'm gonna go back to the document, about this little icon right here. This little icon. Do you see it? It's in the top right here. This is the dots, the 9 dots. Anywhere you are in Google, as long as you're in the main menu right there, or not in the document, you can go ahead and click on this and change your account. Go to search, maps, YouTube, play, news, Gmail, meet, like we talked about, chat, like we talked about, and anything you want, including Google Docs, right here. Slides, books, and whatnot. We don't have time today to explore books, but it is a really neat function. I would recommend that you take a look at it. Really take a look at all these Google programs right here. Okay, very good. All right, let's close some things up here and shift our gears now to Microsoft. Microsoft 365, you have a couple of options. You can start off right here by having the option to have a 5 gigabytes free. They are the competitor to Google. 5 gigabytes free, easy peasy, ready to go. And it's all on one page. You get there by going literally to office.com, office.com, office.com. And we're going to explore some similar features here that we explored with our Google Docs suite. This is the competition, essentially. So we're going to go a little faster, okay? But it's right there. You want to start a new program, or I'm sorry, a new file? Create new. What type of new file do you want? Do you want a new document? This will be Word, PowerPoint, spreadsheet, forms, just like Google Forms, all right? And so on. You can go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what it looks like. We're going to do all 4 together, okay? And you're going to see a lot of similarities with Google Docs. As soon as you open it up, it's right there. Remember, you have 5 gigabytes for free, and then you need to have a subscription to Microsoft 365 in order to go ahead and do this. We're typing a document right over here. It has all the similar layouts. It has slightly more than Google Docs, all right? Drawing pictures. Take a look, really explore, all right? I'm not going to go too deep into this. You can change the layout, change the orientation. This is how you type, okay, or whatnot. You can go ahead and do a review, editor, word count, check accessibility, and whatnot, and so on and so forth. And you can view it in different ways. So this is how you go ahead and start. Go back to File, go back to Close, all right? And it'll bring me back to, I'm sorry, go back to Home, sorry. And it'll bring me back to Home. I can go ahead and do a new document right over here. I can open a document right here. I have a couple already done, okay? Next, I can go ahead and share this file, share with people, save as. I can save it as a PDF or an ODT or something like that. Save it as a doc file onto your hard drive, easy peasy, ready to go. So again, very similar to Google Docs, but you have to know where to find these things. It's in the file section right over here. Again, insert, we talked about that. Yeah, there you go. You're ready to go back. You go back and you click on that button, and then you can change very much like the 9-dot button that Google has. You can go back to Outlook, Teams, Word, Excel, and so on. Let's open up an Excel spreadsheet. Again, really, really easy. I'm looking at the time. We have about 30 minutes left, and there you go. So I'm opening up an Excel spreadsheet right here. I have a lot of tabs open, so this might lag a little bit, but it is all right there. And you can click on it also. Oops, unable to open your document. It's all right. It's all right. Here we go. Excel spreadsheet. We can go. We can do this. I'm sharing my computer on. Let's go, computer. There you go. You can open up a blank book, very similar to Google Sheets right over here. Open up a blank workbook. It is right here, and you can start your new one right here. I can do the same by clicking here on New Workbook here on office.com, and it brings me everything I need. All right, here's the new workbook that has been opened. Please note that the formulas that you used for Google Sheets also work in Excel. They also work. They're standard across spreadsheets. So again, I can have different different numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can go ahead and do equal, sum, open parenthesis, select the first 5, close parenthesis, and I get my number 15. New and improved functions experience. Great. Okay, and it's right there. All right, everybody? So yeah, so it's great. All right, I can insert some formulas, have page layout. I can draw exactly what we're familiar with Google. Yeah. All right, unable to open your workbook. That's okay. That's all right. Let's go ahead and close this and now go back to a presentation. This is going to be a PowerPoint presentation. Again, I'm going to open up PowerPoint, click on new or a template. And then this is a new one right here. It has a number of slides that you can put in, add more slides and whatnot. Again, they look very similar because they act very similarly. Okay. Very easy. Here's the insert, draw, design, transition. You can do some animations. Google is Google is slightly simpler than Microsoft when it comes to these things. Microsoft has more functions. Again, make sure that everything you produce is in line with what you want. Please make sure to see that if you have a little diamond here, it means it's premium. You have to access the premium function of Microsoft 365, not the free version. But again, if I want to go ahead and click on this, I have all the titles that I can do. I can add, change this, and then as soon as I add a slide, new slide, I can go ahead and add different slides. Very similar to what we already saw. Okay. Let's do this. So any questions about the three programs on Microsoft 365? Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. If you have any questions, please make sure to put them in the chat. Okay. Again, the functions are very similar to Google Docs, although you might have some more graphics on Microsoft 365. Okay. So yeah, there you go. That's fun. So again, once I'm done, I don't need to click on save or anything. It automatically saves the presentation. All right, I can rename the presentation right over here. It's saved to my OneDrive. We'll explore OneDrive in just a bit. Any questions? Let me know, please. This is perfect time. So it's saved in my drive. What is OneDrive? We'll get to that right now, actually. Let me close some tabs here just to make sure that we've got it. I do have a pop-up blocker. So there you go. What is OneDrive? Welcome to OneDrive, everybody. It is onedrive.live.com. I'm going to put this in the chat right over here. Let's do it for everybody in the meeting. Nice. All right. And this is essentially your Google Drive for Microsoft. Essentially, it has storage for up to 5 gigabytes. And anytime you create anything on office.com, it'll store it here. Same thing happens with Google Drive. Anytime you create something, it'll store it there. Think of this as your computer in the cloud. Think of Google Drive and OneDrive as your computer in the cloud. Anything you create, anything you can upload right there, it'll all be there for you. This makes your experience a lot more device independent. What does that mean? You don't need to lug around your computer, iPad, laptop, desktop, or what have you. You can be on any computer, log in, and then you can have access to all that information right here. Okay? So far, so good? So let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and click on New. I'm going to go ahead and upload a file. Let's just say File right here. And I'm going to select one of my drawings again. Okay? And it is uploading one item, as you can see, and there it is, right over here. It uploaded it, and it is found right here. It was updated less than a minute ago, okay, and it's right here. So yeah, absolutely. Run out of storage? You can buy more storage right here. Same thing with Google Drive, okay? Same thing with Google Drive. So again, we're connecting this to the functions provided by Microsoft 365. All right. Any questions? Please feel free. All right. Very good. Very good. Okay. We took a look at Gmail. All right. Now we're going to take a look at Outlook. Microsoft 365's main email program, essentially. So some people have Outlook, some people have Gmail, some people have both. I have both. All right. When you're logged into Outlook, it looks like this. Okay. And so you're going to have your emails right over here, very similar to Gmail. Your emails right over here. You have access to the calendar that is found right here. If there are any meetings or anything of the sort, you can click on the calendar to take a look at your day right here. If you have any meetings, you have the ability to send schedules and have it appear on other people's calendars, which is really nice. How do I write a new email? I write a new email by clicking here on new email. And there you go. I can go ahead and schedule send, much like with Gmail. Very easy, very straightforward. Okay. So far so good. Everybody good? All right. So I can send an email to other people in my team. Any recents that I have. Okay. aprovo at bluecc.edu. Okay, or what have you. I'm going to use this address, and there you go. So I have my junk mail right here on the left. Everybody sees that right here. Drafts, sent items, deleted items, and so on. Okay, I can have my people right here. If I'm collaborating with anybody, if I'm on Teams or what have you, I can create new contacts. So this is, again, very simple one right here. I have Peter Barron, I'm sorry, as a sample one that I have here. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, it's very nice. It's very simple, very well done, and there you go. I can actually connect, and this is nice, I can actually connect back to Word by clicking on Microsoft Word right here and opening up a menu for Word right here from my email. So if I'm writing, and if I want to go back to any of these, including more apps, OneDrive, PowerPoint, Excel, or Word, I have it right here. It has an embedded file list. Again, any files that you attach count against your 5 GB limit. If you are part of an organization that has paid for Microsoft, then it's unlimited. You can have all sorts of things. So there you go. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Remember, we talked about Hangouts? We talked about Hangouts. Well, guess what? We have an option to connect with Microsoft's version of Hangouts, which is Skype. You can log in as Skype or signing into Skype here. Okay, Microsoft bought out Skype a couple of years ago, and they've built it into their ecosystem, which allows you, again, this is just like Hangouts, allows you to start a virtual meeting. Let's see if my computer has the wherewithal to go ahead and do this. I'm going to block notifications. I'm going to click on Meet Now, host a meeting. Okay, and everybody should, name your meeting. So sample meeting or what have you. Invite others. I can invite others. I can start the call. Let's see if this works with having double Prevost again. We'll see. There we go. Here's my little photo of me. And nobody is there because I haven't shared the link with anybody, but you get the idea. Okay, there it is. Let's turn on the camera, see if that works. There we go, double Prevost. All right. So again, I can invite others. I don't want to do that to overload your systems, but again, I can put this in the chat, paste it in the chat, and then you can join Skype just like this. Skype has chat function and video function built in. So Skype, Google Meets, Zoom, very similar. Use the one that is best for you. I would recommend that you use one that is pretty standard for you. I just hung up. If anybody's joining, I apologize. I just hung up right there. Yeah, there you go. I'm going to close Skype so that it's not too big. Go back to email right here. Does anybody have any questions about this? Does anybody have any questions about this? So everything is from this page, office.com. All right. And again, you can connect your Word, Excel, PowerPoint right over here, and Outlook right over here for your emails, your OneDrive. I'm not a big fan of Teams. This is a little awkward, but it is there if you need it, if you want it. And it's all there. All right. Remember, everything counts against your 5 GB limit. Okay. So there you go. Right there. Okay, great, great. We're moving on. We're moving on. And now I'd like to, and I've added this because if we had enough time, and we do have some time, I've added this. I'd like to talk quickly, and I mentioned this last week if you were on the call. I'd like to talk quickly about ChatGPT. ChatGPT, here it is right over here. You'll have to go ahead and log in if you have. And yes, Christy says Teams is not user-friendly. Not a big fan of Teams, not a big fan, but I am a big fan of using ChatGPT right over here. Chat.openai.com. If you've already logged in and have a username and password, it'll look something like this. I have an article here that tells you the prompt. So the idea is that you put in some prompts right here for your business. Okay, since we're talking about computer essentials, this is essential. Artificial intelligence is fundamental and in using computers today. ChatGPT is the most common one. There are innumerable other chat programs, artificial intelligence programs, and whatnot. I'm going to go ahead and share with you an article from learnprompt.org. So go ahead and take a look at this. This is, oops, there it is. Here we go. Learnprompt.org. This has a list of hundreds of prompts for businesses, hundreds of prompts for businesses. Okay, so what that does is that allows you to have these prompts. So this is, for example, prompts for planning and strategy. Okay, last week we took a look at using ChatGPT to write a mission statement. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pick number 5 right here. So I'm going to copy. Okay, go back to ChatGPT and paste. Write a detailed SWOT analysis for a mobile book company. I'm going to push enter, and it does that for you. Okay, very good. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Again, I would not use, and as I mentioned last week, there is an ethical consideration too. I would use this for educational purposes only. I would use this for informational purposes only. I would not copy and paste it as your own, because the AI takes information from other sources and collaborates, compiles them into something. And so they do mention that some of this information may not be accurate. It all depends on how accurate the source material is. But it gives you a great preview, so to speak, all right here. And it's really nice. It did it in 3 seconds. Let's take a look at another prompt. They're all in categories. So this is for prompts for new business ideas. Okay, so I'm going to do number 5 again. All right, back to ChatGPT. Generate 5 ideas for improving an existing business in the art industry. Enter. And so here we go. Generating 5 ideas for improving businesses, existing businesses, right over here. So what do we have? What did they say? What did ChatGPT say? It said, I'm going to scroll up here, make sure that I can see it. It says online classes and workshops, art subscription service, box service, art marketplace with NFT integration, art-related events and experiences, art conservation and restoration services. It's almost like the third half of your brain, so to speak. It helps you with the correct prompts and so on. Now remember, it learns, so you can teach it. And that's what's important about that. So for example, I'm going to use a prompt, just a regular old prompt. I'm going to start teaching it. I am the owner of an art gallery in Pendleton, Oregon. I'm not the owner of an art gallery, but I'm the owner of an art gallery in Pendleton, Oregon. Looking for fresh ideas to market my gallery. That's it, just a sentence. I'm going to go ahead and click on enter, and it's going to think. Give it a second. Hopefully it hasn't crashed. Sometimes it crashes, but there you go. So go ahead and take a look at this page with all of the prompts right over here. Okay, let's see if it already typed. There it is. Okay, marketing an art gallery in a unique way. It can help you stand out, the broader audience, local artist spotlight, and so on. So it's a little slow. Sometimes it might not work, but try it again later on throughout the day. Okay, ChatGPT, artificial intelligence. It is a tool in your arsenal. It is a tool in your tool belt. You need to make sure that it is used, but used ethically. And that's number one, the ethical consideration and the ethical use right over here. Okay. I can type in, I'm going to type in another prompt here as it's continuing to generate here. Let's see. Find all of the competitors for, Christy says, wow, that is amazing. It is amazing. It is a tool to really use. Find all the competitors in Pendleton, Oregon. I say that because that's where I live. For the Pendleton Center for the Arts. Okay, so let's see if it finds it. No guarantee that it will. I don't have access to real-time information, it says, and I don't have ability to do this. But they do say to go ahead and look for galleries and cultural centers in the area, or contact the Pendleton Chamber of Commerce. So again, it might not have all of the information that I'm looking for, but it does steer me in the right direction. And so that's it. So it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It allows you to do all sorts of different things. And so this is fundamental. It's an essential. It's a computer essential for entrepreneurs. All right. One more prompt. Let's see what we have here. One more prompt, and then we'll wrap it up on our PowerPoint slide. Okay. Okay. How about this? Generate a number of social media post ideas. Let's do it. Let's do it. Everybody still with me? Give me a thumbs up if you're still with me. It's been almost 2 hours, so I want to make sure that I'm still with you. Thank you. All the thumbs up. Great. So let's do this. Generate, let's say, 5 social media posts for an art opening. Certainly. Here we go. Countdown teasers, artist spotlights, interactive polls, highlight events, behind the scenes preparation. Boom, 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 right there. Again, do not copy and paste. Please do not copy and paste what AI generates. Let this be an inspiration, gives you ideas, and so on and so forth. But if you're stuck, you don't know what social media posts to put, boom, use this prompt and it'll get you what you need. It'll get you what you need. So far, so good? All right, great. Jeff says, the more I use it, the better it gets in the chat. And that is true. It learns. Give it a narrative of who you are. My business is this. This is who I am. This is where I live. It learns and it gets better the more you use it. The more you use it. You notice that on the left-hand side, I've gone ahead and I have only one chat in the registry here, one chat, even though I've already asked it a couple of questions. It's because it's learning. It's the one chat inside the list. If you do a lot of it, you're going to see it populate and so on and so forth. What's nice is that if you ask the prompts again, if you say, go ahead and give me social media posts, it'll give you 5 different ones. And then you can say more, M-O-R-E, more. And then it'll give you 5 more, and then 5 more, and so on and so forth. So again, it is artificial intelligence for a reason. It learns. It learns. That's, it's a brave new world. It's a brave new world. Let's finish off here with our PowerPoint slide. Make sure that we got everything. So we tackled all of this today. Okay, we're almost done. Don't leave yet. We tackled Gmail. Whoops. We tackled Excel, Outlook, OneNote, Skype, OneDrive, and then, of course, ChatGPT. All right. I'd like to make a plug for the upcoming sessions. If you want more Provo, everybody, additional series that are coming up. Let's do this. I look forward to seeing all of you. Financial Essentials in a single session, one session, more interactive. We're going to build some balance sheets, income statements, and statements of cash flows. It is on a Monday at 10 at the end of next month. Then Balance Sheets 101. A basic review of balance sheets, how to build them. These are all 1-hour sessions. And then November 13th, end of the year tax prep and end of the year preparation. So come one, come all. Please, please feel free to write this down and to join us. But as always, I wanted to say thank you and remind you of who we are. We are the Small Business Development Center at Blue Mountain Community College. And give us a call. Talk with one of our advisors. We are here for you. The phone number is 541-278-5833. 541-278-5833. Give us a call. Thank you, everybody, for who are still here. SBDC at bluecc.edu. SBDC at bluecc.edu. We have about 10, maybe more minutes, but we are done, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and put the click off the slide presentation. Thank you very much. I'm here for you. Any questions? I will stay here until however long you need. All right. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you for the thank you. Okay. I hope everybody had fun and enjoyed it and learned a lot. All right. And hope to see you later in October. But everybody can go if you're done. That was Computer Essentials. So Susan, Dawn, Becky, Sitlali, any questions, feel free. You can turn on your camera or not, turn on your audio or not. You can type it in, whatever's most comfortable for you. Go ahead. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. That was fun. I always love ChatGPT. All right. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Becky. Thank you very much. Any questions? I'm here. All right. I guess that's it, everybody. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Susan.